thank you so very much for tuning in to the best show out here about the night. You tuned in with the best crew, Warren, Rob, Tony, Winton. Of course, we're in the goddamn building. We're here with you guys tonight on a very special episode as we continue to grow our platform. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about. Let's actually just dive into really what happened this weekend, see if anybody had anything strange that they wanted to talk about. Let's go ahead and start it off with you, Tony. What happened? Anything happened this weekend?
This weekend, nah, nothing at our venues, nothing too crazy. You know, the venues I was working at, everything was kind of chill.
Why?
Bro, you got to make the announcement, bro. You back on.
Oh.
Hold on.
Well, I mean, okay. Yes, I'm back on. So
Okay.
I've been out for a little bit.
Okay.
Had some things dropped. Everything's looking good. I'm out the lab. So, yep, I'm officially still doing security again.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right.
So,
Good to have you back, man. That's huge. Yeah. That's what's up, man.
Ready and willing to body slam somebody.
Yeah,
no,
man.
no.
Always willing, right? What about you, Rock?
Same thing. Ain't nothing,
Okay.
People trying to pass, the fake IDs. I got that eagle eye on it, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody try to strong arm you for it back?
Nah, I ain't ran into that, man.
Okay.
I swear I don't run into that. It's going to happen.
Mhm.
It's, I don't go to no never. I don't play the never game.
Right.
But it's going to happen, but not yet.
Yeah.
And it's been smooth, though. I like it. It's good. It was busy. Both nights, it picked up late. I kind of liked it like that. I was like, okay, good. The venue making some bread. It's coming through. Things is bouncing back, especially
Right.
at the spot that we in. So I'm glad it's kind of getting that movement going,
Yeah, I heard about that too. A lot of these venues are actually picking up late. I think I went out last weekend ago, and I got there. It was like 12:30, and the security guards as I check in at the front, they telling me like, hey, it was dead till about 5 minutes ago, and I was like, dang, for real? Like, yeah, cats is coming out after 12, but not knowing that the club in at like 1:30, 2 o'clock. You ain't got that much time, but it jumped after 12, though. I'll tell you that. It was actually looking popping. So, we're ready, man. What'd you have happening this weekend?
Man, it was a chill weekend for me. Not too much, man. I was just kicking back. Honestly, I'm just excited football's back. So, I'm about to get in full football mode each week. Twin Peaks, Saturday, dialed in, watching college. So, I'm just I'm happy for football.
Yeah, man. I can't wait for it to happen too. Fantasy drafts is getting ready to pop off at the end of this month. We getting ready to be in full force. Betting season. I only bet during football. I don't know. I have a problem.
You know the one that's slept on. Your big bettors they be betting on hockey. That's the
Oh,
ones they be slipping on. It's crazy. Like the real bettors, the ones that's out there really doing it.
Right.
That's what they do.
Hockey.
They bet on hockey.
Yeah, and boxing too. UFC. I'm assuming.
I don't know, but it's weird. Like a lot of some that I follow, they say, man, hockey's the one sport that slept on.
Because it's consistent. You know who's gonna win. It's
Right. There's not a whole lot of upsets.
Right.
Stuff like that's a little bit more, I guess, maybe easier to predict. The pool is smaller. There's not as many people betting on it. But it's one of those ones, it's going to start a trend. It's a copycat thing. As soon as that gets out and people start making money,
Right.
people going to gravitate toward the money. And that's going to gain a new following of bettors out there, throwing more money out there on the NHL ice.
That is true, and they're actually trying to make betting online a little bit more easier for people. Is it for the right reasons or the wrong reasons? We will never know. Only time will tell. But,
What's the biggest you ever won on a sports bet?
What was it? $2,000, 2,100. I was in Hawaii too when I got it.
Was it a parlay? or
Parlay, of course, man. I'm a crazy motherfucker.
What was the parlay?
5-team parlay. I was just crazy, and I threw $100 at it, and then I got crazy because I saw that I was starting to win like the first couple of games, so I was like, fuck it, let me throw in another parlay just in case I lose. Ended up hitting both of them while I was in Hawaii.
Oh, so total both came out to 21?
21.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
Yeah, So I was like,
Okay.
it wasn't much, but it was just, a couple dollars here and there, threw it out there, and, I hit. So,
nice.
but yeah, it could be, but I mean, even with the highs, there's a lot of lows.
Oh, man, the casinos is built on money, bro. They built on taking your shit.
Facts. and it'd be crazy because it's so specific. It'd be by like the point. 1 point, and you know what I mean, like, and it's over, it's under. It'd be.
There's a science
Oh,
behind
my
that.
God.
There's a reason why the spread is the spread.
I be feeling like motherfuckers be undercover with this shit and betting themselves. They know what's happening.
Oh, you can ask Calvin Ridley about that.
Ooh, shit.
Ask him what's happening.
Yeah.
What that spread be?
Man, well, he's still serving a 6-game suspension, right? You know, thinking about that and the NFL rules and the NFL policies, you know, we had somebody similar that just recently was in the news for that, Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch was he got pulled over for a DUI. And let me just say this offhand. Marshawn Lynch is probably one of the greatest running backs, most entertaining running backs to ever join the NFL in general.
And more importantly, that solid dude in the community too.
Solid dude in the community.
From Oakland.
Yeah.
You know, with the tech out there. But I think everybody got their shortcomings. Everybody slips up. Everybody's had one of these moments.
Man, slip up my nigga from the town, man. You know how we
saying.
do. You know what I mean?
Saying.
We sit up in there with the yak on passenger seat with the seatbelt on it, man. You know what I mean? You know, we from the town. It just so happened to catch up with him.
Yeah, he ripped his vehicle had the tire ripped off.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, I'm still confused about that part. Was it an ultimate sideshow and he really burnt that bitch out, or was it really he was that fucked up and his tire was?
Nah, he is faded.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see the video.
Yeah,
man.
Everybody been there. It's Vegas.
Matter of fact, speaking about the video, cue that video up for me real quick, man, because you know when I heard the news that Marshawn Lynch was arrested, instantly I thought, oh shit, for what?
Yeah, right.
For what? Obviously,
Same.
It's not going to be some homicide. Marshawn Lynch ain't, well, you know, he ain't that type of guy. He has not portrayed himself to being that type of guy as far as like you would think he'd be on some type of gun charge or homicide charge.
Well, you just never know. It's just
True.
It's one of those things.
Very
it's just
true.
Like you don't want to hear it, man. And sometimes these headlines they kind of make you jump.
Right.
Just speaking of before we play it, like I was driving. I was actually from work, and there was you know how Twitter works on your phone and it pops up, has a notification. The way the letters were set, you know, as far as how much space is left on the notification bar on the phone, it talked about Tim Lincecum passing. They said, we sorry to hear that Tim Lincecum has passed. I was like, what? Like the pitcher for the Giants. He was he won their first champion. Yeah, he won a championship with them, but it was his wife that passed. And it's still bad, but the way it finished, it didn't say Tim Lincecum's wife. I had to click on it, and then it went continue. But that's how headlines work sometimes. It'll capture you just like that.
Clickbait.
Right. And, you know, condolences to, you know, him and his family with
crazy.
losing his wife.
That's crazy.
But that's so you always, when you see some of these headlines, especially, you know, athletes and celebrities, people that you might familiarize yourself with, you know, or focus on, it's always like that. You kind of gasp a little bit, like, oh damn, what's about to happen?
Right.
You know what happened?
Was he arrested at night or is this daytime?
He was arrested during the day, and let me go ahead and set the settings. He was arrested for DWI. Go ahead and play the clip, and we'll get into it after the clip.
Bro, that tire is off.
Basically, it's just the rim. I don't even see like no tire remnants whatsoever.
Yeah, it's only the spoke.
Front driver.
It's literally only. There is no tire.
So they're just talking to him. He's sitting in his car. It looked like he chilling. His arms above his head. He relaxing. He in the Mustang. He in the Staining 5.0.
That's a GT 500.
GT 500. I can't tell from there, but you know, obviously he got to be rolling clean.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Right.
They asked him a question like, "Oh, do you know who you are?" And I could tell he fucking around. He say no. You know what I mean? But he ain't in the NFL no more. I mean, does he still have the juice?
You mean like to run through all the cops?
Nah, I mean, he had the juice to get off and not be in the news like this.
You think he's just on alcohol?
I mean, obviously he seems somewhat coherent, like he fucking around, but then at the same time, he do look like he kind of faded.
He looked like he might just woke up.
Right.
That's the thing. I think he probably. I mean, we speculating. He might have just, you know, did what he did, crashed, and then just went to sleep. Maybe.
And then yank him out of the car. Yank him like he probably obviously wasn't cooperating, but damn, was it excessive? I wouldn't call it excessive, but I mean,
you could tell Officer Mahoney has always been wanting to do that.
Yeah.
Stupid Officer Mahoney.
Officer Mickelson.
Wait, he said arrested for the suspicion of DUI. Damn, they got to put two cuffs on him. His arms won't go back like that. Damn, my nigga swole. Beast mode.
Yeah, They didn't need to do that. I'm looking at it. I get it, but you don't need to. Like, it's not like he resisted you pulling him out the car.
Right.
That's the part. Like, I get it if you got to use a little bit more force to kind of, because he's a big dude.
Right.
And pull him out of there. But you went in there and grabbed him like you grab your kid out the toy aisle when it's time to leave Target.
Yank him out, twist him over, bend his arm.
Just yanked him up out of there. Like, I don't think you needed to do all that. That was excessive. 100%.
I want to say that he was compliant with them, but then at the same time, I can't really say if they were asking to pull him out, like, hey, can you step out of the car? And he was refusing to step out of the car. You know, you never know the situation at the time, but, you know, he was obviously arrested for driving while intoxicated. What type of backlash do you think he'll get? He's no longer a part of the NFL. I'm not sure if he was still looking or part of the free agency, but he's no longer with the NFL. Is there any other backlash that he gets for?
There's nothing that's going to affect his career. It's not going to have anything to do with him being a Hall of Famer.
That
anything
part,
like that.
That's what,
it's not going to affect that. I mean, especially, think about it. You got guys out here that had DUIs and then killed people.
Right.
Like, they've hit people
right.
and still were able to play in the league.
I don't know about that.
So there's, like, I remember if you go way back, Leonard Little, he was a defensive end for the Rams way back. Like, they didn't give a shit about that.
That's crazy.
So it's like there's always gonna be these exceptions and stuff like that. So I don't really see this really being it's kind of unfortunate just what he's going through. Whether if he was drunk, let's just play it out. Let's say he was. You ain't need to yank him out like that.
Right.
I mean, he's not. His body language is not being aggressive towards you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's not like you tried to get him out and then he like resisted you or something like that. You just went in there and just yanked him like out. just to be forceful.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was kind of unnecessary. But
I would say that the NFL is a little bit more harsh. I know that last year or even last season there was a up and coming wide receiver for the Las Vegas Rams who was speeding over 100+ miles an hour.
Las Vegas Rams?
Was it Las Vegas or Las Vegas Raiders?
I was like, what the fuck
My
team
bad.
is that?
I fucked up. There's too many goddamn changes. All in one season.
Vegas got one team.
But still, I'm just saying there's a Las Vegas Raiders. That's a recent change. You got the L.A. Rams. You got the what's the other? San Diego. They're not even San Diego no more. L.A. Chargers. And then you got they're not the Washington. They're the Washington Commanders now. Like what the fuck? All these changes, man. Like what the hell is all this? This change
caught
happening.
that one.
Yeah. I didn't want to be, it wasn't offensive back when I was, RG3.
But imagine if they had a fucking team called the Oakland Niggas. That's basically what it is. It's the same concept.
Oakland Negroes.
Right. No, that's not even the same. That was that's basically, if you make the comparison, that's exactly what it was. If you look at it,
what would that look like? Like, what would the face look like?
Still the same. A black hole.
He said the same. Shit.
Oh my God.
But
man, they wouldn't have to change shit. That's funny.
I will say this about this Marshawn Lynch situation. It was almost expected. I'm actually shocked that it didn't happen during the NFL season. You know what I mean? And I only say it that way because we knew he was cut from a different cloth. The man was eating Skittles on the sideline.
Yeah, but they wasn't Skittles laced with alcohol, though.
2 shots of yak before he got out there on the field to warm up.
Oh, so you saying the science was there?
Oh yeah, definitely. He a town. He from the town.
So all people from town is alcoholic?
From the town, man. I'm not gonna say all of them, but shit.
I'm not gonna buy my kids Skittles.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean. Like, I'm just saying.
I don't know if I would have expected it, but it's. I don't think it's. Some people may be getting outraged about it. I don't think it's that big.
Yeah,
it is in the sense of call the Uber, that type of thing.
Being
get a limo.
responsible.
You rich enough. You got enough. You money affluent. Get your limo. All that. There's things you could have done. You know what I mean? So he got to take responsibility on that. He grown enough for that.
Right.
But I think some people is just harping on it way too hard. I was like, we all been there. I've been there. I've had a situation. So man, not to the point where my tire was off.
Right.
But
right.
We all make some mistakes, you know, and he probably gonna learn from it. Another mistake, Mr. Frank.
I wouldn't even call it a mistake.
Like, oh, it's a mistake. Somebody made a mistake.
Oh well, yeah. No, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. But you talking about?
Okay, Mr. Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
I can't with you. I can't with neither one of y'all, bro.
Okay, Mr. Bart Simpson.
I'm just saying.
Giving that Bart Simpson treatment.
It wasn't that
Oh, you ain't
bad.
gonna let me in the house?
I'm gonna drag you through this hall.
Nah, bro.
Hey, if you know, you know.
Yeah, it's only in this room.
If you know,
you know.
Hey,
no.
we're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna leave that alone. In general,
Tongue out and all.
let me make sure I rephrase. Let me retract what I just said there. Yeah, man, that Frank Gore situation is something different. You know, my guy. You know,
Why you don't think it's a mistake?
Control yourself.
What you over here from the?
damn it.
You got a different mindset. Like
Here's my thing. I know I'm fucked up in a sense. Okay, if she was kicking her feet, then yeah, it's bad. But if she was just like, maybe he was just dragging her, that's all he could grab her from. He was dragging her from that
like
point.
she was drunk.
Yeah, like, but if she was like, god damn it, no, like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no video yet.
There's no
either
video.
that
I want to
I've
see the
seen
video.
surfaced
Like,
of
what she
that.
look like.
But like this happened a month ago, because I guess like this was one of them situations. This wasn't kind of like Marshawn's. This just happened
Recent.
and it was live because it was caught on their body cam and all of that. But I think Frank's it was a month ago. TMZ got the report. His name came up, and then they put out the information, and that's kind of what it is. I guess that's why there ain't no video. So
I mean, he ain't dealing with no ratchets. Has got a wig because you can't grab a ratchet by the wig. You know what I mean? It'll just come off. It'll just slip right off. So she was.
That make a
slip
difference.
right off. You know.
that'd make a difference. What he's supposed to like Michael Jordan her?
I just feel like he's changed after the NFL, man. I mean, did you see his knockout in his professional boxing?
Right,
did you see his knockout?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was nice. He knocked him out clean, But I mean, in general, now your change it's a shift. You went from hitting people physical in football to hitting people physical in boxing. And I'm not saying that same thing transitions to the way you treat women, because at all, not 100% at all, do I find any of it okay. I am just bringing lightment to the situation and a little bit laughter.
What's lightment?
Meaning like enlightenment. Like I want to.
I was like lightment.
Lightment, yeah.
We'll bring some lightment to this.
In general, I'm laughing at the situation because I wouldn't expect it from a Frank Gore. Just a few minutes ago, as far as Marshawn Lynch, we kind of said him getting a DUI was almost not necessarily expected, but he was from the town. He did things a little different. To me, in my aspect, the way I was raised, it was expected. I expected it sooner, but it didn't. So I'm congratulatory, on you for holding out that long. But in Frank Gore's aspect, Frank Gore, I wouldn't expect him to be dragging a female out of the, anywhere. Like,
I'm surprised with both of them, though. To be
Okay.
honest with you,
I hear
that's
you.
not something I'm expecting to see. You know what I mean? Especially with Frank, that came out of nowhere.
True.
That's a big allegation, man.
Yeah.
A big, you dragging a woman down the hall,
Right.
by her hair,
Right.
butt naked.
Right. That part.
That's the part.
That part.
Rug burn.
Shh.
Like that's how I'm looking at it. Like, what you thinking?
Blueface.
What you thinking? What you on?
Blueface Redburn.
That's why I'm like, that don't even. Like, what
Was he dragging her into a room? Was he dragging
her out?
Yeah,
out
but
of the room?
what got you to that point? Now,
She probably bit him. She bit
granted,
him.
Granted, we don't know what led up to what happened in that room. We don't
True.
know no details whatsoever. There could be a whole bunch of stuff she could have. There could be a plethora of.
She bit the mandingo.
There
That's the only thing I can think of. She naked. You probably have naked as well. She bit the mandingo.
There could have been a plethora of reasons why this happened. Whether they justified or not, we'll see. But right now the running backs ain't looking too good.
Right.
Which one was better?
I mean, one thing I will say, man, like I think the NFL they were staying away from Vegas for a reason. All these major sports leagues. I mean, now you look at Henry Ruggs last year.
Yeah.
He had what he had happen in Vegas.
That's who it
DUI.
was. There we go.
Now you got Marshawn, even though he's not in the league, I mean, he's getting in trouble in Vegas.
He was a Raider.
You know what I mean? And I think this is the reason why these major sports leagues want to stay away from Vegas, because these athletes are going to get in trouble. You know what I mean? I mean, you have all these nightclubs in Vegas. I mean, everybody knows Vegas is the #1 entertainment city in the world. So you mix that with sports and millionaires and dudes is young, just getting out of college. It's not a good mixture.
Well, think about it. The Vegas got the professional hockey team now. Has anything been coming up with them?
True, but guys that play hockey, it's a different.
It's a different demographic.
You're dealing with a different breed. I mean, you giving niggas money.
Yeah.
Oh, so you saying it's because
I mean,
kind of the brothers?
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Brothers in Vegas.
Right.
I mean, with Frank, man, he out here dragging people, giving girls rug burn. He wasn't in Vegas. He was in Atlantic City.
True.
Still a nigga doing it though.
I wonder where Blueface was at when he had dropped his girl. You guys see that little story about Blueface as well?
That was a good fight though. She
was swinging.
She was swinging.
She was swinging.
Dodging.
He was dodging some haymakers. Doesn't make it right though, because in the video, in my eyes, he was dodging a few haymakers and wasn't doing anything.
We touched on this last week.
Doesn't make it right.
I think
I'm just saying it's similar. It's similar, right?
So what you trying to say in comparison with this though?
Oh, it was.
So you believe? What do you? Let's speculate, man. Let's play around with this.
Oh shit!
Because we're going in the game here. Let's play the what if.
Okay.
What do you think is justified that she did to Frank for him to drag her out butt naked? Let's play it.
You got to bite me.
No, I mean she has to pull out a weapon.
Something.
But they both butt naked.
No.
You got to take in context.
Some type of physical harm.
Nah, you don't want to. You want to do something worse within the doors where no one can see. Like I don't know.
That had to be something else. That had to be something to
I'm
the
gonna
point.
bite her back. I'm gonna get her kneecap and.
Because you got to think about it. You drug her out. You drug her out the room. Or I don't even know.
Was he
if that's
naked
even
too?
The case.
I don't know.
I don't even know
We
if that's
don't
the
know.
case.
We don't have
But
the
she's
video.
naked though.
Yeah.
She must have been asleep and she got a text from a nigga.
But like, who is the girl now? I think that's a
He woke
deeper
her-
question. Was
he
she
snatched
You
her
saying
ass
the
up.
side dude
Was
is
she paid?
justification to drag her out?
I mean, it's not justification, but it may be to some people.
You
Nah.
understand? I
Nah,
feel you. I feel you.
that wouldn't be justifiable to leave somebody out there butt naked that way. But in general, that it comes down to the question is, who is she? Is she somebody who was paid and hired to be there, and he's just treating her like trash, or was it actually like his girl? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we don't know.
It breaks a big difference.
I mean,
all we know is she was 28.
He might have woke up and caught her in his pockets. You know what I mean? She might have been in his pockets.
She naked in his pockets.
I mean, it happens. We hear this happen all the time. Celebrities wake up, shit's missing. She might have been in his pockets, taking money out in his wallet.
Yeah, but Debo just, he backhanded a female on Friday. That's all Debo did. What was her name? Felicia? Was it Felicia?
Just imagine what Warren
Felicia
would
and
do.
her begging ass. And
Yeah, but you gotta even in a situation like that. I'm not disagreeing with
Right.
you with the scenario, but what I'm saying is these guys gotta be smarter than that.
Facts.
Like when you that high profile, you not only do you got to do things by the letter of the law, you better do it by the letter of the law because there are entities out there and news platforms that are incentivized to create their own narrative and story against you. So you got to be extra. Not only do you got to do the right thing, you got to make sure the camera is seeing you and showing you that you're doing the right thing, and you got witnesses that's going to testify on your behalf that you did the right thing. Like, it's a whole lot of steps you got to take, and sometimes we all human and we understand that, but a lot of these guys, you don't have the luxury of reacting to your emotions or bending to your animalistic instincts of a certain situation, whether it's justified or not. They just don't get. They're not gonna get that mercy from society.
Y'all
They're
see the
just
video?
not.
I sent it to y'all. The video of the gorilla throwing the wife gorilla around.
I did see that.
You see that one, bro? You should have attached it to this. That'd have been hilarious.
No, we should attach that.
I know
that
that'd be perfect.
Drake, man, when you got to keep the hot sauce bedside.
This gorilla just
my
picked up the
God.
female gorilla, threw it, and then she started running around.
She might have had the syringe.
Hey, that shit's funny as hell though. She had the hot twat.
Hot pocket.
Get this Tapatio.
Let's ask this question then. We mentioned it earlier. Marshawn Lynch. Does this tarnish his Hall of Fame type career?
Yeah.
Does this action by Frank Gore, who's no longer in the NFL, does this also tarnish his opportunity in there?
You know, I think the only reason why we talking about it is the only similarities is two running backs that's, you know, not currently on the team right now that are that are arrested, you know, or in custody or something like that. You know what I mean? But the situations is completely different.
100%.
You got someone with a DUI where no one at this moment has been harmed. And then you got a situation where a girl's basically been drugged across a hotel, you know, hallway. You basically got, you know, battery.
So basically,
you know, and right now the NFL and I think sports in general is taking a lot of heat for their attention and I would say their discipline or lack thereof against a lot of their players in regards to these matters. They're
even outside of the league, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's because both of these guys are going to be going up for the Hall of Fame here pretty soon. They was actually just talking about. I think Warren, if you noticed, I think Rich Eisen was talking about it that Frank is a Hall of Famer. He believed based on his
numbers,
his record,
stats, absolutely.
So he definitely has a shot. You know,
so his
something like this could affect that.
His post-career activities where you can finally be yourself and not be monitored. Technically not in the NFL. You could say the George Bush situation was one of those situations similar to that, but it wasn't a criminal act.
Bush.
Damn it, I said George Bush. I meant Reggie Bush.
Like George Bush
Reggie Bush. NCAA, they took his Heisman away for some BS bullshit.
Penny saved is 1 cent.
And they never gave him his Heisman back, even after now kids are able to actually accept endorsements. Anyways.
But that's a different. You know what's crazy? That's a different situation. Also, you're dealing with the NFL and the NBA. That both of those leagues are a lot more forgiving when it comes to this type of stuff. If this was a baseball player, like you think about it, you got a lot of guys that's not in the Hall of Fame right now.
Barry Bonds.
Let's speak on Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens. Let's even go further. Pete Rose. I knew you. How do you not have Pete Rose, Barry Bonds, and Roger Clemens in the Hall of Fame?
Right.
You can't tell the story of baseball without them three players.
The asterisk. But I mean, the Barry Bonds situation and Pete Rose situation and all during their actual career.
And it has to do with at least with Barry and Rogers.
Right.
It has to actually do with the stats that they produced on the field.
Right.
So that part we get.
But my thing is, now they're outside of this. There's no supervisor telling them they can and can't do this. But now they're saying their personal life, after they've been great for the past 10 plus years in the NFL, now I'm outside and I could be a free man, spend my money the way I want to, do what I want. Is that going to have an impact on me getting in the Hall of Fame a couple of years later? Is that asterisk outside of the NFL that has nothing to do with them anymore affecting my right to the Hall of Fame, the road to Canton?
I mean, if you're asking me, you have to be able to separate the art and the performance of the athlete from the person. What they did on the field is what's happening on the field. Like I make this comparison all the time, especially with baseball. Ty Cobb was a racist piece of shit.
But
motherfucker you can't say he couldn't pitch.
Right.
You can't say that. Like you can't. Like I don't care how much you hate him. I don't care if you don't like him. This stuff is documented. So, so you have to be able to separate that. Did they perform on the field? And the Hall of Fame is based off of that.
Right.
So is it going to really hurt their chances in that? It may. I'll say this because there's a lot of politicking when it comes down to, Warren, you know about this. The being a first ballot Hall of Famer. So basically being your first year of eligibility.
Right.
Are they gonna put you in? They may make you sit now.
Right.
A couple years just because of that. Now you probably gonna get in, but there is a special place for the guys who make that first ballot. That means you were the top tier, creme de la creme, elite.
Creme de la creme.
Yeah.
Creme de la creme.
Like you were an elite of your position and of your era. So, but they might make them sit. That might be the consequences of it, but it ain't gonna be much more than that.
That makes sense, but only time will tell, I guess, if that actually happens, right?
Nah, he got bigger stuff to worry about. But you can't just be dragging girls across the rug, man.
True.
Like you got to deal with that.
Yeah.
There's ramifications gonna come from that.
We make choices, man. You got to live with those choices.
Another person, man, just these guys is falling. Speaking of a fall, the Flash. What's going on with him?
Ezra Miller.
Justice League member.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller. Yeah. You know what? I actually liked him in The Flash.
Yeah, he's good.
You know, he was
decent.
He played the dorky scene, but really got great powers, really fast.
What's going on with? I actually don't know what's going on with him.
Bruh.
There's some kidnapping stuff. There's some stuff with an underage girl.
She's like 14, trying to be her best friend.
A lot of people are saying that, and there's a lot of. There's some stuff that's substantiated, and there's some stuff that's kind of speculation. But it's like some people felt like he was grooming her, like because he was with her like when she was younger,
12.
And now she's like
14, 15.
No, she's older than that now. But it's kind of like you groomed her up. Like there's a lot of shit. And then now he's in the news now. The most recent incident. There's a whole bunch of shit been going on with him. But this most recent thing, he stole some wine out of some random person's house.
Burglary.
Like this is an actor. This is a millionaire. Like or somebody's got very money affluent, and you've been in a bunch of. Or you've been in a few of these DC movies. You got your movie that Warner Brothers is trying to put out that they're even thinking about.
Cancel.
Can they even do it?
It's canceled.
Nah, they ain't gonna cancel it. It's $200 million, bro. They're gonna put that out. It's coming out on HBO Max or it's coming out on the big screen. One or the other. They're gonna make that money. Because the movie's shot already. It's not like they can just recast.
Right.
So, but. The first time I heard about this was about maybe a years ago. He like slapped or choked a girl, like somewhere, and then I was just like, I thought about this, and I'm like, what happened with that? Like, how you just got here slapping and choking people, and there ain't no ramifications? You still get to be the Flash,
right?
Like, what happened? I remember when that happened, and I thought he was gonna get recast then. But he wasn't, and then I'm like, oh, did they drop the charges? And they, how they do the civil suits, they drop the criminal charge and then they go with the civil just to get paid. I don't know the situation, but there's been a pattern with him, in the news and at the Flash, bro. You ain't running away from this.
Yeah, my thing.
You ain't fast enough.
No pun.
Y'all said he's a good person. I'm sorry, but when I've seen him,
who a good person?
The Flash.
I meant like as far as good actor. I liked him. I liked
his
him
performance.
In
his performance in the movie, not him as I don't know
but
him from shit.
No, fuck no.
Let me clarify a little bit. The dude looked weird as fuck. I seen some of the photos, bro. The dude is.
Oh, if Pee Wee Herman had a son.
Damn.
I'm telling you, I thought he was Pee Wee Herman's son. I was
that's what Pee Wee Herman fucked Large Marge. Had this motherfucker.
Right. That's why I'm like. I mean, right, underage women, all this stuff. Like, man, if you aren't smart enough or have the IQ enough to know you're in a position that other people ain't in that same position, other people don't have your opportunities and don't, we're all not in movies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So many kids have dreams of wanting to be in a position like that. And now you're there and you're going to be like, look, I'm going to choose violence today.
But the thing about
that's crazy.
But you think about a lot of these.
Crazy.
One of the biggest I guess you would say personality traits among actors is narcissism, ego. You feel like you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Right. Very true.
Now that's not every actor, that's not every actress, but your job is to portray and be somebody who you ain't.
Right.
That's not gonna say that that's unnatural. Like that becomes synonymous with acting.
Right.
So I don't think he's exempt from that, but when you get to that stature and you got that type of lifestyle, man, you're just like, man, I'm the Flash, bro. I'm in Justice League, I'm all this other shit. Got my Flash movie coming out. You feel like you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like that's what it comes down to. Like think about it. Like I'm bringing it up. Like Harvey Weinstein, doing whatever the fuck you want to do. You in the spotlight. You got one of the biggest production companies in Hollywood, and you doing whatever the fuck you want to do.
You want to be in Victoria's Secret? Talk to me.
R. Kelly. Right. We just was talking about out here serving McKellies.
I believe I can pee.
Goddamn.
Doing whatever the hell you want to do, right? Like we think about that and we're like, man, why do you think you can be able to do that? and move that way. You almost
move that way.
Yeah, you feel invincible to a certain degree. I think that comes with that. There's a lot of ego, there's a lot of narcissism, or at least narcissistic traits that are coming out in these things because they don't feel like it's either one, they sick, and to me, I don't like calling people sick right off the bat because I feel like it's dismissive and it's almost offensive. No, not that part. It's the fact that it's easy. It's almost giving them an out.
Okay.
You sick or you sick, so that's the excuse. You sick. I hate that shit. No, call it what it is. You doing some bullshit and your ass need to be held accountable.
I mean, offensive to the people who actually are sick. You know what I mean? Because we're just saying
exactly
an easy accent.
Some people just be playing that.
Right. Yeah,
like they saying they sick. Yeah. No, you know exactly what you're doing. Sick means you are not aware of your actions. That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, my mind there, because when you say that, like one movie that changed my mind forever about the whole sick thing was Snap. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen that.
And when I see that movie, we don't want to get into it, but I'm just saying, like, when I saw that, I was like, I felt for him. You know what I mean? I'm like, he really isn't, man. I was like, I just felt some type of ways. I know there's people like that, schizophrenics and stuff like that, that just don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But do you think, that's interesting thing you brought up with that. Do you think that that's something that develops over time, or do you think that that's something they had and then it just manifested?
I think both.
Yeah,
they had it in the beginning,
develops.
and it developed as they grow older. It got stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because sometimes some people, you said Snap. Sometimes, some people, we was talking about it maybe some episodes back. When we was talking about Father's Day. Men struggling in silence.
Yeah,
there's a lot of men out there that's like, man, hanging on by a thread.
Right. Facts.
And you never know.
Yeah.
Facts. And then when they snap, then everybody be like, man, he was crazy. I didn't even know that. And that's dismissive.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like maybe he wasn't like that. Maybe he was trying to hold it together and he just couldn't anymore. Or he or she, I'm saying. But but we were talking about fathers that day. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's like that. Like I make a lot of quotes from shit. There's one from a comic book, and one of the Joker's or Batman comic when Joker said it only takes one bad day. That's the only difference between him and the Joker. It's one bad day. That day he chose, Batman chose his route and Joker chose his route.
Right.
And I mean those are fake characters, but that quote is dynamic.
Yeah, it's dynamic.
Right.
And it's relative because it's real because sometimes it can only take that, and we jump from one decision to another based on circumstances.
Choices we make, man. You got to live with them each and every day you wake up, man. Every day is different.
Frank, you can't be dragging.
You can't be dragging. Once again, it was I mean, I didn't see the scene, but you hear
Frank the
anybody,
Tank.
being dragged out by any part naked.
I didn't want to see naked.
Bucket naked.
Naked.
Shout out Bernie Mac. But
that's naked from who was that? Godfrey. Remember in Soul Plane? He said, "My name is Gay Man, not two men fucking together."
Motherfucker. We're going to tour, motherfucker.
I was talking about the Bernie Mac. Bucket naked.
Oh, say bucket naked. You can see the public is.
What was that? Bill Bellamy movie.
No, that was Players Club.
Oh, Players Club. There you go. You go. In general, I know. Long time ago. But in general, it was an embarrassing moment for anybody to be dragged out of anywhere naked and being, walked out. And it's an embarrassing moment and also a shameful moment for the person who did it too. So,
yeah. I didn't expect that. When you talk about unexpected,
right?
I didn't expect that from 100%. Frank at all.
He actually had one of the most successful after career opportunities.
Right.
Meaning
so
that,
let's ask that.
Right.
Do you think that's eradicated?
Boxing is done for him?
Yeah.
I mean, he if he in a slammer, he done like MC Hammer. But I'm just saying, I think so. Because, he went into boxing and I wasn't going to take it, serious because obviously we seen cats like Nate Robinson who shouldn't have been in the boxing ring at all.
He was, man, he really, he said black folks back. We ain't even going to get reparations for another decade because this nigga. Mm-hmm. I'm blaming that on him.
Oh shit, Nate! Facts. God damn, this thing.
That's all jokes. Y'all got to understand the jokes.
Oh,
but no, that set us back.
Yeah,
that set us back.
But Frank Gore from NFL, who was a beast in the NFL, came out and had a great boxing debut and knocked this nigga out. not whoever he knocked out, whether they're professional or not. He didn't really look like he had Mayweather hands, but he was a bigger dude than him, taller wise, and just had more reach. And he slept that nigga.
Frank is solid, though.
Solid. That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, dude, okay, Frank, you got a second opportunity
Frank
in
is my
boxing.
Frank is my height, like 5'10",
Yeah.
but he's like
solid.
But he like 215, 220,
Solid.
5'10".
Yeah.
Like that's a solid dude.
Yeah. But just in general, you had a second opportunity to making some actual legit cash on some boxing tip. You got your NFL money. Now you making some extra boxing money. But now I think you tarnish it all. And I don't, the question now is what's next for him?
Maybe he was practicing.
What's next for him? What's next for Marshawn Lynch? Who knows? Speaking about what's next what about that Rico situation with Young Thug? What's next for him? And this shit is crazy to me because Young Thug is a rapper.
I do not know about this. What happened?
Young Thug is a rapper who rapped some specific lyrics which tied him to a murder/drug lord ring with YSL. YSL is another artist, but I guess
Didn't YSL cologne?
What?
Never mind. Thought it was a cologne.
It is. Oh, you talking about Saint Laurent?
Never mind. Keep going.
He's talking about the acronym. Anyway,
YSL.
we had stopped the whole show for this.
Yeah, I was like, why? What?
I use
Cologne.
YSL. It's my favorite cologne. That's just there.
But in general, this Rico indictment is crazy. They're pulling him in over lyrics. Basically, he's the modern day snitch.
Ain't that a
So
confession?
Not intended.
I don't want to get too detailed on his case because, to be honest with you, I really don't care.
It's crazy.
But I do, as far as I think the topic that's been coming up or the discussions that's been going on is, should the feds or any law enforcement or court system be allowed to use lyrics from songs to prosecute?
Freedom of speech. Fuck that.
What you think?
What hard evidence do you have? Do you have a murder weapon? Do you have a bullet? Do you have fingerprints? Do you have video? If you're telling me you're arresting people off of just what they said in a rap song, you got me fucked up.
Okay.
You got me fucked up.
But let's play devil's advocate here. Why you got to be that stupid to be talking about something that's remotely similar to what happened?
Because that is the way that people listen to music nowadays. Actually, Warren said it best when we talked about the Kendrick Lamar album. We're conditioned.
No, we conditioned to the beat, not you over here shooting the club up and actually somebody shot the club up.
But that beat comes with something else. That beat comes with a realness and a hardness that,
what
I mean? So in general, you going to say whatever. You going to say whatever.
But what do you mean you going to say whatever? Like that, like you got to be a little bit more specific than that. He ain't just saying whatever.
You going to say whatever?
He's not.
Whatever?
So I'll say this. For them to indict him, for them to charge him, they can't just say, they're not picking a very vague lyric.
They are actually.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're picking specifics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A specific line that ties him to a
Why
potential related.
Why would you be
murder
that
case.
stupid to be specific?
But see,
That's the thing, and that's where it is. If I'm looking at it from a holistic standpoint, from a universal side, I don't believe that you should be able to use the lyrics. I understand that.
Hold on. David Chappelle did something like this. Remember the Chappelle Show, second season, where they went up in the club. I'm up in the club and I shot everybody up. I shot the dude up with the green shirt. Yeah,
right.
I fucked your. It's like, dude,
That's
so stupid.
That
like,
example, yeah, that was when he was talking about Tupac being alive or whatever.
Yeah, Tupac being.
He said, "Stop hitting the table like that." Yeah,
the guy was hitting the table.
Yeah.
Stop hitting the table.
Yeah. So no, I understand that, and see, I think there's a difference. What you're talking about is the overall concept of being able to use rap lyrics for convictions or indictments in court, right? Or to be able to be attached to a RICO case, which all you have to do is prove one person did a felony act. You can charge everybody that's involved. That's how RICO works.
Crazy.
But that's what really killed the mafia. To be honest with you, at least how they operated was that RICO shit. Because there's one thing for you. That's why dudes. I think that's such a funny thing when it comes down to snitching, and the reason why people think snitching is so much more now than it was back then. Yeah, back then you did your bid for like 8 years. You could sit for 8. Right. It's hard to sit for 80. That's hard. Man. That's a different thing. So that's a big dynamic. That's a big difference between back then and now. Yeah. And that's what Rico's done. But with his situation, it's like I agree with you. Shouldn't be able to use it on a universal level, use the lyrics. I get that part. But you as the artist got to be smarter, as what Tony just said. You can't be specific. I get it's all entertainment. But at the same time, you still running with dudes that's in the street. Right. And they over here hit a lick at a car dealership, and then you over here rapping about your boys pulled a lick at a car dealership. But that's what is they supposed to do? That is you got to be smarter than that.
You can have a suspect. You can have a suspect from that, I guess. You know, now you have a detective has a clue of who to look at. But what hard evidence, proof, anything tangible? Because we're technically guilty until we're tilted.
And I'm only playing
innocent until proven guilty.
There we go.
Unless it's the IRS.
But
so you're telling me the rap lyrics are a reason to put you in under a guilty?
No. But look though,
you do have to be smarter though.
You got to look at how long hip hop's been going on. Like, dude's been rapping for years. So it's like, I mean, 20 years ago, nobody was getting convicted for what they said on a song. Mm-hmm. And they were talking about real shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, now all of a sudden, you're going to try to put me in jail for what I rap about? Like, that to me, that's bullshit.
So do you think, and like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate on this, just to go back and forth. But do you think that there's a specific reason why the feds are going after these guys, these high-profile rappers, got a lot of money, got a lot of bread? Because that's what it is. Because at the end of the day, they, in most of these cases, they know that he ain't the one pulling the trigger. And I could be wrong. I don't know that.
Aaron Hernandez,
right? But oh my God. Man, get into that. But in most of these cases, that's not. They usually it's other people. They just attaching you because you the name. You the one. You the billfold. You got the money. Right. So, do you think it's because of that? Like that's the reason?
I think.
What's the point of indicting Young Thug?
Because he's the big fish.
Proving a point.
He's the big fish.
Okay.
Proving a point.
So do you think it's an attack on rap?
Yeah, absolutely.
But rap makes so much money. You know, it's white folks that's running the shit, right?
Did this Rico happen before or after Tekashi 6ix9ine?
After.
Universal is run by the elite people. It's not run by so what's the point? It's money making. They would be losing money. So it's got to be something other than that. That argument ain't gonna cut it.
I guess it's in order to put people in line. It's in order to put people in check.
Okay, why?
Because people are getting away with murder. You know what I mean? And now that the fact that they're rapping at it, they think they can talk about it and bring people in to try to bring justice to the situations that are at hand. And if you think you're talking about it, it must be real. But I mean, let's be 100% honest. How many of these rappers talk about fucking other bitches but still got one bitch at home that they fucking? I mean, that is point intended.
Well, number one, that ain't true. But go ahead.
So you telling me Offset has no lyrics talking about fucking bitches and hoes, but was with Cardi B the whole time?
Well, he did
fuck another bitch though.
He was no. What he was doing, he was saying exactly what he was doing. He was going home with Cardi B and fucking other bitches, just like the rest of them are.
Fuck! I just reverse proved my point. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a bad example.
Anyways.
Hey, we all players fuck up.
But in general, some keep it real in their rap. Some just kind of add the extra on it just to make it sound and more appealing to people in order for
99% of rappers is full of shit anyway.
So how are we making Rico indictments over lyrics? And, you know what I mean?
But you know what I mean? But I think that's the difference. You said it, Warren. You said it. It's different now. Back then, when rap first started, you was rap. The style of rap was basically you were rapping what you lived and what you endured, and then what you were getting out of. Now these guys have basically they're trying to create the image that they portraying on wax. So that basically what they doing is they out here rapping, and then they'll go out there and go hit a lick, but you got $1 million in the bank because they want to live what they raps are saying, which is fucking stupid. If your ass is making millions of dollars and then you over here and then your ass going to LA and trying to get blooded and trying to get put on and get jumped into the fucking Crips and Bloods, you an idiot. You fucking stupid as fuck.
Like Crip Mac.
It's like that's hella stupid. Like You got millions in the bank, and now you want to be in the gang? Like that wasn't your lifestyle up to that point.
Right.
Now you rapping about the shit that you don't know shit about, just maybe heard or was around, and then now you want to get jumped in.
Another reason why, this is.
But that's my point. They want to be able. They want to attach and make it parallel with the lifestyle, what they really living, and the rap, what they saying in the lyrics, what's on the song. That's the difference. That's the difference when Big and all and like guys from before, they was rapping about stuff that they did when they wasn't rapping, when they was in the street grinding or struggling, whatever the case may be, whether it was embellished or not. Because I'm not sitting here saying that everything they said was 100% either. But it was telling the story about stuff that they saw and experienced. What, like I said, they took liberties with here and there, yeah. But it was a story. It was different. Now it's like, bro, I'm rapping about, man, I used to sell this, I used to move this type of weight, blah, blah, blah. I guess I got to really do that shit so I can make myself verified. Like, bro, you stupid.
Right.
You stupid.
How come?
And your ass deserve to get 15. That's how I look at it. If you do stupid shit like that.
How come Eminem ain't facing no charges? He's always talking about kidnapping somebody, taking them out to the woods, stabbing them, killing them. Exactly. How come he's not under heat for no serial killer type shit?
Because they can't attach it to nothing. With this, they can attach it to something.
How do you? There's so many unsolved murders. Exactly. How could you not?
That's a little that's a little bit of a stretch. I get what you're saying,
the man was telling the story.
And I will say this: it could be, his skin tone, his ethnicity got something to do with it.
Wow.
But
I don't think with Eminem.
But
No,
what I'm saying is, I think more than that, even more than that, there is a different in dynamic. Eminem don't roll with gang members and shit like that's not how he moves. Young Thug does, and what his people that he roll with or he's affiliated with be with the shit. And then you saying some stuff that kind of correlates or is in parallel with some of the shit they doing, they gonna pull you in, whether it's right or not, whether you agree with it or not. That's still not smart.
But he don't do white music and he don't do black music. He does fight music for high school kids.
He does lose yourself music. You get you inspired.
You gotta lose yourself in the music the moment you own it.
You better never let it.
You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. Because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Marshawn, Ezra Miller, Frank Gore,
What?
Young Thug, once in a lifetime. Anyways, in general, my thing about it is this. I feel like it's bullshit because they're really throwing the book at these guys for music and lyrics. I just still want to see the evidence that they have.
Definitely looks like I understand the point, they're paying close attention to hip hop in general, but hip hop is one of those genres where, man, we get real specific.
They don't do this shit with country music.
Hey, I never watched
Bro,
hip
but
hop.
all country music talks about is fucking, the fact that they dog died and the woman left them and they ain't got no more peanut butter in the house.
Real quick.
So they
I never
can't
watched.
make no
Rob,
that's all country is.
Rob.
Like so,
and
what
bring them
they,
on down. Bring them on down.
What they gonna talk about?
Real quick, straight out of Compton. I never watched it, but
yeah.
does that have any correlation? I feel like it does have correlation with what you guys are talking about. I never watched that movie.
In what way?
Fuck the Police song?
In the sense that, like,
the Fuck the Police?
The cops got involved with rap.
Right.
Sense,
Well, yeah. No, they did. And at that time, and that was, was a big thing that they were basically saying that, they, what's the quote? He said, "We are not against rap. We are not against rappers. But we are against those thugs." that infamous line.
Hold on, so here's my thing about thug. When you say thug, I swear to God, I heard Tupac say this shit, that when he talked about, his tattoo on his, chest or on his stomach, talk about thug life. Like, he, to me, I was like, when I heard thug life, I hated thugs because I hated gangs and all that shit. But then, like, when Tupac talked about it, he said some real shit to me, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? He talked about thug life, meaning the hate you give little infants fucks everyone. You know what I mean?
What?
Like, that's what thug life means.
Say it again. What was your...
Thug life to him meant the hate you give little infants fucks everyone.
Little infants.
Meaning how a kid is raised, the way you fucking treat him is how it fucks everyone. Like, talking about how someone's brought up.
I get what you're saying.
What I mean? That's what he means by thug life. And I was like, when I heard that, I was like, damn, like, okay, that's what he means by thug life. You know what I mean? How young kids are brought up in the ghettos, how young kids are brought up throughout societies that are impoverished and things like that. Like I was like, wow, I didn't think of it that way.
But that was my point. And I don't want to sit here and say that the old guard of rappers was, you know, they had no blemishes. You know, because they was embellishing, they was jawsing too, as we used to say. That was what we all over in our 30s. Remember jawsing when you're lying, jawsing. We get it. He was jawsing. They jawsing back then too.
Shit. Okay.
They was jawsing back then too. But I think the intention, the inspiration was different. They was not aspiring to live the lyrics as these guys are now. Back then, it was more of telling the story about stuff that they knew or that they experienced, going through, or that they did go through prior to rap.
Right.
This now, it's a different dynamic now, man.
You got to come up with new shit to say.
These dudes is really like, man, if they say they a car thief, they gotta have a couple car licks under their belt. That's what it feel like. Like they're trying to prove what they say instead of it's not something that they endured coming up.
A lot of these dudes have ghostwriters.
Hey,
very true.
No,
very
that's
true.
Very true.
Very
So
true.
so what?
Charge the ghostwriter.
Hey, so what? So what if Young Thug said, "Man, I ain't even write that shit.
You still.
I ain't even write that."
Hey, probably be off. You know,
Man.
shit. But my thing, once again, about the Young Thug situation is just I haven't seen or heard of any hard evidence, and that's really what it comes down to.
Well, they just add the reason why it came up too is I guess they just added something to his case. They just added more charges, so they ain't lighting up.
Right.
They not.
They still pressing.
You know how the feds is. That's a 98% conviction rate. Somebody gonna be telling.
They said 28 people are involved. Out of 28 people, motherfucker, somebody saying something.
98%, nigga.
Somebody saying
27
something.
is singing.
Something.
They saying something.
I got a kid at home. Where's that McDonald's meal that you promised?
There's a tattale in there for
Bro,
sure.
what's that? Remember that show? That show.
First 48,
Bruh.
First 48.
Remember that show?
When you know,
Bro, Mike Epps had me crying when he was talking about that show. He said there'd be some ratatouille ass niggas on that show. He said, bro, that he said next thing you know, he said, bro, they didn't. He said next thing the next episode he'll have Red Lobster. He'd be like, man, I saw 3 murders.
with a smoke.
He said,
Smoke eating
he said,
members.
let me get some of that butter. He said, man. My kids was like, man, you told for an ultimate feast.
Hey, them cheddar biscuits, man.
Hey, had you
They
out
change
there
a man.
singing like a canary, bro.
Still.
Hey, don't do the
Oh,
shit.
God.
Don't
Man.
do the shit.
Man.
If you can't don't do the shit. And I said that is real. I really feel like Rico has changed everything. It changed organized crime big time.
Oh, it did.
The mafia couldn't even move like they move like now. They just couldn't. The dudes is getting sentences way too deep. Like I said, it's way easier to be like, man, I'm gonna sit. If I'm doing that and I'm making money or whatever for the whatever you in, whether you in the mafia, whether you in a gang, whatever, it's easy to be like, yeah, I could take that 6. You can take that, especially if you're 20, 22, come out when you're 28, come out when you're 30. You can live with that. Bro, it's a whole nother game when they be like, bro, you ain't getting out till you 87.
God damn.
That's a whole nother thing.
Changes.
Dudes wasn't facing that back then.
Yeah.
That's not what it was. Unless you had like some triple homicide on you, they wasn't facing them numbers. So that's another topic to talk about when it comes down to the whole snitching game. It's still snitching. If you in the shit, you know what come with it.
Right.
You know the ramifications. You know the Rico case. You got to stay out of it. So don't put yourself in that position. If don't do the shit. If you ain't handle it, if you get pinched. But
let me ask everybody this question as a poll style. We'll start with you already. Based upon what you know right now, do you feel like you'll see Young Thug on the streets anytime soon?
this hits hard for Warren because that's like his brother.
I love Thug.
He loves
I
Young
really
Thug.
do. I fuck with Thug tough. I think he has a hell of a lawyer, to be honest. Dude that he got representing him, I think he's about to represent Trump, and he represents the baby. And you know the baby always stay out of trouble.
I love the baby.
He the main rapper that's always in some shit.
We talking about
every
that.
week.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. So he was the lawyer that fought with him with the Walmart thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Young Thug gonna
So-
be out with a
Thug
new
out.
album.
So he
He gonna have a new album, bro, in about winter.
facts.
New album.
His lawyer is
Number
is-
one song, fuck Rico.
Yeah, he got that dude. He got that dude representing him, but
Barter 8. Why?
So
I agree with you though, Rob. Like when it come to Rico, man, that shit they ain't playing.
No,
They ain't
it's
playing with
almost
that
like a
Rico
cheat
shit.
code.
It is, man.
It's like a cheat code. It's like it's the reverse. You know how we had the cheat code to get the get all the guns in Grand Theft Auto? It's like the reverse. Like they got that shit now.
Facts.
Like,
You
they
can-
can
you can
they
skip-
just
I
run
agree
it
with
up
that.
on you.
I didn't know that was his attorney. You could skip me, shit. But
I think he's facing some. I think he's gonna do some time though. I don't think he's
Sometime.
gonna get off
really?
scot clean. I think he's gonna do some time. Yeah,
How much time?
man.
We all speculating.
It's tough to say, man. I mean, he's facing hella charges. I think he's gonna do, man, maybe like 10 plus.
Okay, so 10 plus ain't saying he's snitching. Next question is he snitching to get
Nah,
less time?
I don't think he's gonna talk.
nah.
He definitely not gonna snitch.
So you're not gonna 6ix9ine it?
Nah.
Okay. Is he gonna be living in there like Martha Stewart, or he grimy?
That depends on what prison they put him in.
Facts. He might be in PC.
Okay.
No, they have to. He's too high profile.
Yeah.
They all
PC
get
up.
put in PC. Because if something happened to them while they in there, bro, that whole prison going down, everybody getting sued.
So Rob, what you think?
Let's see Epstein's it.
Right. Facts.
What you got, Rob? He on the street.
You don't have a choice when it comes to that.
You'll see him soon on the street.
See, that's new. I didn't know he had that lawyer. That changes things. That changes things. I ain't gonna
Okay.
lie, man.
Okay.
He might be out sooner than later. That's a lot of charges, though, man. That's a lot of darts that you dodging. I'm not gonna put. I'm gonna say 15.
15 years.
Yeah.
What you got? How many years you got?
I got 4.
4. I was thinking somewhere around there too. Probably even, if anything,
Yeah,
charge will
for
be
sure.
dropped in a year or two because they ain't able. I say not necessarily drop, but I feel like
The
if
feds
they,
don't drop.
if they can't pin him on one thing, they can't pin him on it all. So
But
if
they
they're
got
able to
enough to
focus,
indict him, though. That's like 98%, man. That's the conviction rate.
They said they had he was being followed for 2 years.
goddamn,
They don't follow you that long for nothing.
Yeah, 2 years, bro.
probably got him on some trafficking.
They got him on something.
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say
The
anyone as a rapper
I'll tell you
would
like
catch
this:
a body.
if he gets the time that y'all talking, he was telling.
He was snitching.
Telling.
He was.
You ain't about to do
tattletale.
no two
So-
and then it's gonna be a rap,
so
bro.
you-
That's not gonna be it.
So you think he did the ultimate offense, and you think he caught a body?
Well, it's not whether he caught. It's not. It's the Rico can charge everybody with the felony. That's the thing. And if they feel like it's a conspiracy, which is how they go about it, everybody's involved. They'll make you, whether you pulled the trigger or not, they'll make you feel the heat just like you did.
He probably called the heat. I mean, called the hit.
That's how they're trying to make it sound like.
he didn't. I don't think he actually did the work, but he's the one that
Which you would be just as
take
guilty.
care of that nigga.
That would be you just as guilty. If you
Right.
hire a hitman, you just as guilty as the hitman.
Right.
So
Fucking Rico, huh? God damn. So I mean, in order to get into
Suave.
a Rico situation, somebody already had to have snitched in order for them to connect the dots. Am I right? Somebody already said something. How do you connect the dots in a Rico situation?
as they always say, man, the reason why they have that high conviction rate is because dudes be telling.
I mean, but
it damn sure ain't because they
you-
doing good police work.
you get followed for 2 years. They seeing what you doing. Period.
True.
You got somebody on your ass for 2 years. There ain't too much you hiding. So they had enough to bring this on him from whatever they seen those past 2 years. So
Hey man,
He got an
good luck
uphill
to him.
battle.
Hope he gets the. We'll see what happens, bro. Don't drop the soap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, talking about let's wrap it up here. There's just some major events that are happening. Obviously, it's taking some people's time in jail, sitting for a few minutes. Having to stay quarantined in a specific location for a specific time. When we're talking about quarantine, obviously we have this crazy pandemic outbreak that's happening right now, which is monkeypox. A couple of weeks ago, Tony, you actually kind of brought up obviously a red pill station. Shout out. You had some conspiracy questions about, the plans and, the plans that are coming in the future. And then we're currently going through this monkeypox situation. Like, what are your thoughts on what's currently happening, not in the future, but with this monkeypox? What are your concerns and thoughts on that?
You said not in the future, though.
Yeah, because obviously if I mention future, we're talking about the next plan, and obviously you can lead up to it, but I want to talk about specifically monkeypox. What is your take on it right now?
So monkeypox, in terms of what it is, it's a disease that somehow, people who are not of a heterosexual, can somehow give it to each other, but we can't. It's weird. There's a lot of weird things about it. But when it comes to the disease itself, there's a lot of things you have to understand. So the future is important. The future is important for a few reasons. Why? Because when we're talking about things like this, like, monkeypox and stuff like that, you have to relate it to, coronavirus, because what? The C virus, and I don't want to say, the other name, but it changed our lives, did it not? It really did.
Still is.
Right. Still changing our lives.
Right.
And a lot of us went through that. And what's crazy is that 3 months before that, again, like I said on the last podcast, we already knew what was going to happen because we knew about Event 201. We knew about these institutions that were just brought up that literally talk about what's going to happen with, like, these viruses that are being put out. Now, here's my thing. Don't listen to me. I tell everybody straight up, don't even listen to me. I get in arguments with political people. I get in arguments with conspiracy theorists. I get in arguments with so many people because I'm just someone that researches. And I want everybody else to do their own research. I want everybody else to look up World Economic Forum, who these people are, and look up NTI, right? Nuclear Threat Initiation. These are organizations you need to look up because why? We've never had something like this. I don't know if it's the internet. I don't know if it's the year that we're in, but all of us, right? We're in an age now where we can look up information, right? And this information is tied to people. And these people are tied to different things. And when we're talking about World Economic Forum, who are these people, right? These are unelected officials. These are the richest people in the world. Klaus Schwab. Look this guy up.
Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab.
Look him up, right?
Klaus Schwab.
Look this man up. He runs in an organization with so many people that you guys know of. I mean, if I said the name right now, here's what's crazy. If I said a name back in 2000, we're talking about the internet, you would know who this man is, richest man in the world. You're already thinking about him in your head. They have to put his name as William G. Gates. The third.
Okay, I thought I was exactly what was on.
You can't even say Bill. It used to always be Bill. They Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It wasn't William and Melinda Gates. It was Bill.
I went to school where his brother actually was very heavily influenced at. I got to meet him a few times. Anyways, keep going.
I would love to talk to his brother. But they had to change his name to that after 2015. His name, it no longer changed to Bill. It was William. Kind of like a good example would be like, everybody talked about the conspiracy theory about like Walt Disney being frozen under ice. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, they came out with the Walt Disney movie named Frozen. So that way when people would do Google searches, it would come up with Walt Disney's Frozen, the movie, not Walt Disney being frozen. Same exact reason why they probably do it for Bill Gates. Not sure. But anyways, him and other people who are philanthropists, right? People who have a lot of money, unelected officials, come up with all these, I guess you can call them experimental projects where basically they say, hey, we're going to talk about a scenario that's going to happen and we want to stop this scenario. So if you go to their website, you can donate money. Anybody can donate money. This is just something that anybody
can donate money to me, motherfucker. Right. Goddamn.
I mean, if you want. But you can donate money to these people. But basically what happens with these kind of things, right, is that you can go donate money, look up the information that's on there. And example, Event 201 in October 2019 talked about a SARS-type virus called Corona that would basically go through and people would contract and it would kill X amount of people. They talked about this 3 months before it happened. That's why we were able to tell people what was going to happen. So we want to know what's going to happen with monkeypox, right? Do we have to worry about this? I think we do have to worry about this to an extent. Why? Because I don't see how this is going to play out. But this ain't about me. I want y'all to go look this up. So go to nti.org. Anybody that wants to do this. If you go on to nti.org or type in NTI scenario on Google search, you'll actually be able to pull up table of contents, right? On the first part, if you can actually pull it up on here.
Well, I do want to, I want people to focus on that part. Like, do your own research, look these things up. I would think the topic I want to kind of touch on with monkeypox and just kind of some of these pandemics or plandemics as we're calling them. What's the differences between these things? Because when we look at COVID and how I look at how society's going to react, because whether it's manufactured or not, Whether you're saying it's or whether these websites and organizations are coming together and they're creating this, and this is some sort of a plan, or this is some type of initiative, right? Whether that's the case, I have no evidence to show me anything. But what is going to be real is the reaction of society.
Right, that part. The change.
And what difference is it with Corona and monkeypox? Well, and I'm going to tell you this right now. People react different when they get the ugly.
When you can look at it and when you can see it.
See, it's one thing for you to just feel some cold symptoms that's normal, or flu symptoms. You don't really have any physical, like from the outlook, somebody being able to tell that you have the virus. But bro, you walking around here with the monkeypox,
the pox,
you can see it.
It's going to be different, and it's going to affect society more in the decision making on what we do. You think there's a lot of people that, a lot of people, I don't think this. I think everybody needs to take their own precautions. But there's some people out there that look down on people who still wearing masks when they don't have to in some places, right? And I'm like, well, what you think gonna happen when you walk around with the monkeypox? You ain't gonna be thinking that same way.
Right.
You won't. People in society
you will
are
lock
gonna
down.
yeah.
You will
100%. 100%.
What's crazy?
And it's bad because do you think about it? They already got incidents right now, hate crimes. There's actually gay people getting like beat on because of this.
But
like
don't heterosexual partners have the same? They do the same thing. They still have sex. So it's like, how is it different? That's so crazy. Like you would have to think. Then there has to be some strain of the DNA that's attached to the XY chromosome. There has to be something like that. It just can't be. That doesn't make sense. Why only gay people? That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Unless the same people manufacturing this are the same people that manufactured HIV. Don't want to get into that because I'll get in trouble with Anthony Fauci. But when it comes to this, right? Nuclear threat initiative. My bad.
Go ahead. Speak your truth.
So this is my thing when it comes to this, because Rob's right. When it comes to like the visual part of it, that's Bill Gates literally, and it's the same video I have on Red Pill Station where he literally said, "Oh, when the next one comes, you guys will pay attention to this one." He said it like, I know it's coming. Like, that's what I don't like about that. And it was disgusting because he knew. I'm like, of course you know, man. Because all your pharmaceutical companies will be able to capitalize on this.
Right.
Why? You guys are going to get paid more money. With that money, you'll be able to gain more control over the people, take over their sovereignty, because the end goal is socialism. That's what you guys are going to do. You want to do this. And it's good. There's nothing. So what I'm about to explain right now, it's going to happen. This isn't me. This isn't coming from me. This is their own website. Again, NTI scenario. Type that in on Google search, or type in nti.org and go to their own website and search it yourself. If you go there, go down on the second page. You're on the first one. Go 2 over. So there's a YouTube page next to it and the one over to that. NTI.
Oh, the tab.
Right
there you go.
So if you go there, right? Actually, I can read that really good. Yeah. Strengthening and preventing responses to high consequential biological threats. This is very important because, guys, I'm sorry. These are the same people that came up with the World Economic Forum, that came up with Event 201, that talked about what we already went through. They are now playing out another scenario. Here's what's funny about these scenarios, right? The most richest people, philanthropists, people that are here to help everybody out in the world, right? They come out with all these things that are they're emerging diseases. Emerging. Not diseases that have been here. Like, these guys aren't here to cure AIDS. They're not here to cure cancer. They're not here to cure other diseases that we've all personally have lost people to. Now, emerging diseases. So they're fantasizing about these so-called diseases. So when you look at this, right, back in 2021, this is disgusting. These guys literally, the results from the 2001 tabletop exercise conducted in a partnership with Munich Security Conference. If you can, go down to page 12. These guys literally, this is what's crazy, have this scenario played out. So if you guys don't take my word for it, go to page 12 on this page. If you guys want to look it up for yourselves, they break it down month by month, what's going to happen. And guess what? If you don't believe me, don't believe me, please. Believe what's on there and believe what's on their website. On there, it says, you're on page 12? Up a little more. Oh, up. Oh, the other up. There you go.
It's past page 12.
Yeah, you're on 13. Keep going. No, you were fine. You're fine. No, keep going up. There you go. Up. There you go. Right there. Move 1. So I didn't even realize it. They labeled it by moves. Scenario 1. Right there. Look at that date. May 15th. So this is back, guys. This is 2021, last year. They basically said
2022.
Right.
Just a few months ago.
Right. But this whole scenario was written in 2021. They basically said, look, somewhere around May 15th, 2022, monkeypox outbreak will be in Barinia, and we will have 1,400 cases with 4 deaths. Barinia. It's a fake country they came up with.
Low death toll already.
Can you go to the next tab? The first case of monkeypox. An ongoing outbreak of monkeypox, a viral disease, was confirmed May 2022 in Britain, the United Kingdom.
And 6.
On the 6th. I mean, they're a week off. So you know what? Maybe it's not. You know, it's no
Not that accurate,
no
right?
correlation. No correlation. They're a
Right.
week off. They're a week off. Here's my thing. I kind of feel that we're safe to follow what they're talking about. We can actually follow this. So we're going to talk about how this is going to affect us, right? That they're going through. You can go into move 2 and move 3. What's crazy is I'm going to hit some key points on when they talk about the fact that this virus will not be able to be affected by vaccines. So remember that. And I'm saying this because this is what you're going to see in the future, that somehow when it comes to monkeypox, it's not going to be able to be affected by vaccines. Why? That's going to mean you're going to be forced to shut down no matter what, because there's not even a vaccine. Because when we had the previous one, there were vaccines. That's why everything is calmed down. This one, that's not going to happen. You're going to have to lock down. Because if not, you're going to have to basically go against the ramifications of that, whether it's, you know, scarring or whatever it does that monkeypox is going to do to you. Because there's certain people just get the fever and they get a few scars and that's it. But some people get like the big bolts that you see like online whenever you type in like on the Google search. That's really nasty. You're going to get that. But bottom line, when it comes to this, basically in the end, what's really crazy about this is by December 2023, we're going to have 270 million deaths. Is what they're projecting on here.
Damn.
But the number one important thing you got to understand is when it comes to this, they're going to say that it's a biochemical attack by a civilian biochemical lab, which basically means terrorism. They're basically going to say there's a terrorist group that is creating monkeypox to make it resistant and to make it attack people. And that's why, if you guys have actually looked at the recent bill, I forgot what it was called. It was a recession relief program bill. Something like that, where basically they're going to hire 87,000 IRS workers are going to be hired on this new bill. That's not why they're doing it. They're typically, the reason why they're even hiring that many workers is because of the fact that when this virus goes full throttle and everybody is going to basically be scared of touching each other, touching things, touching physical things, because you already heard about a coin shortage.
It's already happening. Keep going.
You heard about a coin shortage. You're going to hear about cash shortage. You just start hearing that, hey, we can't have cash no more. We need to have a cashless society because we live in an age now to where there's diseases are out there. Not enough people are getting vaccinated. We have to have a cashless society. In league or in literally, it's going to be in league with the IRS people that are out there. They're going to literally be auditing everybody. Once they audit everybody, they're going to say, look, let's build an incentive for you guys. We're going to half everybody's amounts that they have to owe. Or we're going to give you an extra $1,000 if everybody turns in all their cash and we go to a full cashless society into a digital dollar. They're literally going to go digital dollar with everything.
So they can track everything.
So they can track every dime and cent.
It makes sense. They're already starting to do that. They're already starting to do that with Cash App and any online transfers that you're starting to make.
Right.
I do want to take a quick moment and thank you guys for tuning in to our corner. We're going to call it the Conspiracy Corner with our boy Tony. WSJ Aura. You can find him at Red Pill Station about all your conspiracy thoughts and questions.
Do your research, y'all.
Do your research.
Do your own digging.
But really, when it comes to everything, are you going to lock down? Here's my thing. Number one, right now, I just don't see it being that big. I just don't. Like, for it to lock down, I just don't see it. But if everything that we're seeing in here happens and it's some kind of group that's making the virus stronger month by month, then yeah, I can see us definitely locking down. We ain't going to be able to go out no more. It's going to be the same shit that we already were used to. We're going to have to be intense, 6 feet away from each other, like at curfew, whatever. What else did we have to go through?
Hey, far west.
Right? Oh, but if it happens, we're going to have that smooth handshake. I can't wait.
Remember them smooth handshakes.
I'll be on patrol.
Facts.
I will be back.
Well, I definitely want to take.
You're supposed to be in curfew. I need that smooth handshake.
Right.
That digital one though.
I hope that happens. Oh my God.
I took a few digital tips. In general, guys, I definitely want to thank you guys so very much for tuning in live to us about the night each and every week. We can't thank you guys so enough for doing that. Once again, we got some crazy things, crazy talks that we talked about today. But if you have any questions or want us to respond to anything that we said, definitely comment. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Let them know what you're doing on Thursday nights at 10 o'clock. Speaking of which, we got 2 major guests coming on with us. We've never done this before. Next week is going to be one hell of an episode. Definitely make sure you tune in and tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your sister. Brother, I don't care. Everybody tune in. Make sure everybody on the iPad.
Right. Especially if you're someone out there that's in the club scene, y'all trying to, figure out what you need to do, what you need to not do. Like, these ladies are going to be on. They're going to put you on some game. Like, please.
It's going to be some lady talk.
Right.
I want the ladies to really talk. I want to hear their side of the story. Instead of men just butting in and, kind of narrating their story, I want to hear what they have to say. So we're going to definitely tune in next week with a great episode. So thank you so very much for tuning in this week. Once again, I got my guy over there, man. Take some time to, shed some love on my guy, War Ready, on the ones and twos. Staying active on it, you know what I mean? And let's not forget about our conspiracy theorists right here. Mr. Tony, WSJ Aura in the motherfucking building with the Red Pill Station. Let's not forget about my guy with that green cup right there in his hand. Yeah, dig. Mr. Rob Coates himself.
Jebediah.
Suede like _ Coates. Yeah, dig. And then you rocking with the best, Winton, King of Sacramento, man. We in the motherfucking building. Thank you
King
so very
of
much.
Waco Mundo.
Waco Mundo, what the fuck?